Something just changed, and it could decide the future of one of rock's most troubled frontmen. For years, fans have watched Wes Scantlin, the voice behind Puddle of Mudd, spiral through chaos, onstage meltdowns, arrests, and moments that left people asking the same question: what happened? But now, a judge has made a major decision in a case that could have sent him to prison. Instead, he's been given one final shot. No jail time. No second chances after this. And what happens next could either save his life or end his career for good. The courtroom outcome surprised a lot of people. Because based on everything that had happened leading up to this moment, prison time seemed almost inevitable. But instead, the judge went in a completely different direction. Wes Scantlin has officially avoided jail. Let that sink in. After being arrested on felony domestic violence and drug possession charges, the expectation was serious consequences. The kind that don't just damage your career, but completely stop it. But through a plea deal, the court offered something else instead. A 1-year diversion program. Now, that might sound like a break. But it's not exactly freedom. This program comes with strict conditions. No slipping up. No second chances hidden behind technicalities. Scantlin has been ordered to complete a mandatory drug rehabilitation program, follow every requirement to the letter, and return to court in late May to prove that he's actually making progress. And here's the part that makes this so critical. If he succeeds, if he does everything right, those charges could be dismissed entirely. Gone. But if he fails, everything comes crashing back down. The charges. The consequences. Possibly even jail time. So what the judge really did here wasn't let him off. He handed him a final test. And the pressure couldn't be higher. Because this isn't just about legal trouble anymore. It's about whether Wes can finally face the issues that have been following him for years. To understand how serious this situation is, you have to look at what actually happened that night. It started with a call. Around 3 a.m., police received a frantic report of a disturbance at an apartment in Torrance, California. By the time officers arrived, things had already escalated. What began as a verbal argument between Scantlin and his girlfriend had reportedly turned physical. And according to police, there were visible marks on the woman's arms. That detail alone changed everything. Because now, this wasn't just another argument. This was a criminal situation. Scantlin was taken into custody on the spot. But it didn't stop there. During a search, officers also discovered a controlled substance, which immediately added another layer to the charges. Now he wasn't just facing one serious accusation. He was facing multiple. Felony domestic violence, drug possession, and a bail set at $90,000. That's not minor. That's not something that just disappears quietly. This was a moment where everything could have gone in a very different direction. And for many watching, it felt like the breaking point. The truth is, this incident didn't come out of nowhere. It was the latest chapter in a long, chaotic pattern. Just weeks before the arrest, Scantlin had already been making headlines again. This time, for a performance that fans described as completely out of control. At a benefit show, attendees said he was stumbling across the stage, struggling to perform, and going off on aggressive, confusing rants. At one point, he even brought up Fred Durst, the frontman of Limp Bizkit, in a way that left the crowd confused. But what happened next made things even stranger. The very next day, a fan approached him on video. And instead of brushing it off or calming things down, Scantlin flipped off the camera. Then made a bizarre claim that his former bass player had somehow drugged him. No evidence. No explanation. Just more confusion. And for fans watching all of this unfold, it was getting harder and harder to ignore. This wasn't just a rough patch anymore. It was a pattern. And if that wasn't enough, there was another moment that showed just how serious things had become. Back in August of 2024, Scantlin was pulled over during a routine traffic stop while driving his Hummer. But what should have been simple turned into something far more intense. Officers discovered he had an outstanding warrant tied to allegedly bringing a weapon into an airport. At that point, they asked him to step out of the vehicle. He refused. Not once. Not twice. Completely refused. What followed quickly escalated. Police attempted to gain control of the situation, but Scantlin remained inside the vehicle. Eventually, officers used pepper spray. Still no compliance. And that's when things reached another level. A SWAT team was called in. They shattered his window, used pepper balls, and physically removed him from the vehicle. Think about that. A routine traffic stop, ending with SWAT intervention. That's not normal. That's a situation spiraling out of control. Now, with all of that behind him, everything comes down to this moment. This court-ordered rehab. Because this isn't just about avoiding jail anymore. It's about survival, career, reputation, health, life, all of it. For over a decade, fans have watched Wes Scantlin go from a chart-topping rock star to someone constantly in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And every time, there's been the same hope. Maybe this will be the wake-up call. Maybe this time, things will change. But now, it's different. Because this time, it's not optional. The court has made that decision for him. 1 year. Strict rules. Zero room for error. And a deadline to prove he's actually getting better. This is the kind of moment that either turns everything around, or confirms the worst fears before all the chaos, before the headlines, before the arrests. There was a moment when Wes Scantlin had everything. In the early 2000s, Puddle of Mudd exploded onto the scene with a sound that felt raw, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Songs like Blurry and She Hates Me weren't just hits, they were everywhere. Radio, MTV, stadium shows. For a while, it looked like Wes had locked in his place as one of rock's defining voices of that era. But here's what makes this story hit harder. Even back then, there were signs. Stories of erratic behavior. Tension behind the scenes. Struggles that didn't always make the headlines, but were definitely there. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. Because success can cover a lot. When the music is working, when the crowds are showing up, when the checks are clearing, people look the other way. But over time, those cracks started to widen. Missed performances. Unpredictable interviews. Moments where fans started asking, "Is everything okay?" And slowly, the focus shifted. It wasn't just about the music anymore. It was about the instability. And that's the part that makes everything we're seeing now feel less like a surprise, and more like something that's been building for years. And maybe the most overlooked part of this entire situation is the fans. Because they've been riding this roller coaster right alongside him. Think about it. You buy a ticket to see a band you grew up with. A voice that defined a part of your life. You're expecting nostalgia, energy, that feeling of hearing those songs live again. But instead, you get unpredictability. Shows where the performance falls apart. Moments that feel uncomfortable instead of exciting. And it creates this strange tension. Because fans don't just want to criticize him. A lot of them genuinely care. You see it in the comments. You hear it in conversations. People aren't just angry. They're frustrated, and honestly, a little heartbroken. Because they remember what he used to be. And they know what he could still be. But every new incident chips away at that hope. And now, with this latest arrest and court ruling, fans are left in a tough position. Do you keep supporting? Do you step back? Or do you just wait, and hope this time is different? Here's the reality. Second chances don't come like this very often. Not at this level. Not after this many incidents. The court didn't just hand Wes Scantlin an opportunity. It handed him responsibility. Because now, there's no more hiding behind excuses. No more blaming circumstances. Everything is structured, measured, watched. Every step he takes over the next year will matter. Every decision, every action. And that kind of pressure can go one of two ways. It can break you, or it can force you to finally face what you've been running from. And for Wes, that's the real battle. Not the legal case, not the headlines, but the internal fight. The one that's been playing out quietly behind all of this chaos for years. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about avoiding jail anymore. It's about whether he can rebuild something that's been falling apart for a long time. So now, everything comes down to one question. What happens next? Because this isn't just another headline. This is a crossroads. A moment that could redefine everything, for better or for worse. The talent is still there. The legacy is still there. But time, that's the one thing he's running out of. And whether this becomes a comeback story or a final chapter, we're about to find out. And before we come to the end of this video, I just want to take a moment to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching. Your time truly means a lot. In a world where there are thousands of videos you could be watching right now, the fact that you chose to spend a few minutes here with me on Hajararama TV is something I truly appreciate. This channel continues to grow because of viewers like you. Every view, every comment, and every bit of support helps this community become stronger. And that's what makes creating these videos so rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, please take a quick moment to like the video, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends or anyone who might enjoy this content. Your interaction really helps the channel reach more people who love stories, entertainment, and updates just like you do. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Hajararama TV, and turn on the notification bell so you'll always be among the first to know when a new video is uploaded. There are many more exciting videos coming your way very soon, and I would love for you to be part of this journey as the channel continues to grow. I also enjoy hearing your thoughts, so feel free to drop your opinions, ideas, or suggestions in the comment section. Your voice matters here, and your feedback helps make Hajararama TV even better. Once again, thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, stay entertained, and keep watching Hajararama TV.